and reported for training camp today, indicated he won't be participating until he gets a new contract. ESPN NFL front office insider Mike Tannenbaum.
You talk to people around the league, there is still a big gulf between where he wants to be and where Cincinnati is. So the fact that he's in is encouraging, but a hold in doesn't solve the problem.
Yeah.
And if I'm Cincinnati, until he's signed, I have to worry in the back of my mind, is he going to play or is he going to say that he's hurt? And that's a big concern if I'm the Bengals.
The issue in contract negotiations is guaranteed money. Ahead of tomorrow's MLB trade deadline, the Reds acquired third baseman Ke'Bryan Hayes, widely regarded as one of the best defenders in the sport, from the Pirates, for lefty Taylor Rogers and a prospect. Entering today, Cincinnati 3 games out of the final NL wildcard spot. The Cubs lead a pivotal NL Central matchup this afternoon against the Brewers. They're up 6-3, top 6. Blue Jays snapped a 4-game slide with a 9-8 victory over the Orioles. Tigers beat the Diamondbacks 7-2. Detroit and Toronto tied for the best record in the American League.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Canty. Coming up Thursday, Justin Jefferson said we'll need to be patient with J.J. McCarthy. I'll tell you why the Vikings won't have that luxury. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPN News.
From Studio 2 at the worldwide headquarters of ESPN.
Told you.
This is Freddie and Harry.
Inside the locker room, like who decides the music? Like who gets to pick the song?
We used to have White Boy Wednesdays, like every team I played on. No, I'm just keeping it real. Like the people like real stuff. Our listeners like things to be kept real, so I'm keeping it real. We had White Boy Wednesdays. So on Wednesdays, it was the rock, the no. So you in there lifting weights and you're saying to yourself, how in the hell am I going to get on this squat rack today? So you'll save your squat day for another day.
Oh, God.
This is Freddie and Harry.
With my man Harry Douglas, I'm Freddie Coleman. You put us together. You have the best show on your radio. It is the afternoon cool edition of Freddie and Harry. Thank you very much. Presented by Progressive Insurance. And we are here on the ESPN app, Sirius XM Channel 80. Don't forget about us and tune in and tell that smart speaker to play ESPN Radio. By the way, Rashad Malik on the socials at Coleman ESPN and at H-83 saying he hopes it's not going to be the last White Boy Wednesday that we do regarding music that we bring back from commercial, going to the breaks, the whole 9 yards. He says, how about do all white rappers part of White Boy Wednesday?
Ooh.
Shannon, why are you frowning?
Nothing like that.
Shannon, why are you frowning?
Look, we good on this side, all right?
Rashad makes a suggestion, and all of a sudden the frown police showed up, known as Shannon Penn.
Settle down, sir. Settle down.
I'm just sucking it, Juffy.
Settle down.
Rashad, I got your back, although I'm completely outnumbered here, according to Shannon Penn.
Look how E-Dog just perked up. He wasn't sitting that high in his seat before we started this segment.
I'm a fan of that idea.
Yeah, so now we got 2-2. We're almost having like a selection committee here. I don't think we should bring Christine Leach into this. Leave her out of this. She's gone through enough with us every Tuesday at the selection committee.
Well, also, I think we also got to take note of this.
What's that?
Depending on what day you squat, make sure, depending on who you are, your squat day isn't White Boy Wednesday. Now, if you love White Boy Wednesday, then your squat day needs to be.
I would give anything to see video of you and you're doing your squats. And
understand
also,
what kind of squatter you are.
I understand that. With you and the weights, and also somebody, you got the music going, it's probably something you like, and also somebody slides in Enter Sandman by Metallica. Just to see the look on your face.
Coach, I can't get it, Coach.
I usually get Semi-Charmed Life by Third Eye Blind.
That's a good
when I'm
one.
Squatting.
Yeah. The look on Harry's face.
I'm stuck, Coach. I'm stuck. I need a spotter.
Well, Rashad, I'm going to try to have that happen when we do another White Boy Wednesday when it comes to music, have all white boy rappers, despite the protestations of Shannon Penn and one Harry Douglas. But
I do know one thing,
though. You do know one thing. Yeah.
They come, they go. Saturday through Sunday, Monday.
Look at
Monday
you.
through Sunday. Yo,
oh boy, look at you getting your groove on.
Eminem.
Even without doing the squat rack as far as that goes. Well, many people are squatting on the Steelers in terms of the over-under. According to ESPN Bet, their over-under win total is the most bet according to that site. 8.5 wins when it comes to the Pittsburgh Steelers in the over-under. Now, Aaron Rodgers is going to have a big part in what the Steelers are going to do. And boy, does he appreciate having a chance to do that with this team.
I mean, Pittsburgh is one of the cornerstone franchises in the NFL. Everybody knows who they are. There's only a few of them. but it's just different here. There's a level of expectation based on the excellence that's happened here, where you kind of come in and you expect to fall in the line to embody what it means to be a Steeler. And I really appreciate that, because I've been in Green Bay for 18 years, and it's the same thing there.
That was a response when he was on the Pat McAfee show earlier today, because they're live at Steelers camp in Pennsylvania when they had a chance to sit down with Aaron Rodgers, and the fans were losing their rabid Steelers mind with him being on the set. So we know Harry Douglas. A lot of what they're going to do, I hope they're going to do, no matter what the over-under win total is going to be based on what kind of quarterback they're getting, even though he's still terrific at times, but also 41 years of age, about to be 42. Where are you landing on that Steelers over-under win total at 8.5 that, according to ESPN Bet, is the most bet on when it comes to any team's over-under win total?
I'm landing over, and I'm hoping the majority of people that bet on this particular thing also bet it on the over. When you look at Mike Tomlin, Freddie, he's never had a what?
Never had a losing season.
Never had a losing season.
Not one time.
So if you bet the under, you're telling me that Mike Tomlin's going to have a losing season in 2025. Something he has never had since becoming the head coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, also something you have to look at, you look at the first 5 games of the season for the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's why I believe it's imperative that they get off to a fast start. They have the Jets, they have the Seahawks, they have New England, Minnesota, and the Cleveland Browns. I expect them to either be 5-0 or 4-1. Now, understand this, folks. It's not going to be smooth sailing even when you're playing a New England, because they've gotten better. It's not going to be smooth sailing when you're playing Seattle. Any team can beat anyone on any given day in the National Football League, especially if you don't show up with your best. But I am expecting them to be 5-0 or 4-1.
Okay.
Now, with that being said, what the AFC North has told me over the last few years is that this is a very competitive division. And it doesn't matter how bad a team is. Anyone can beat anyone, like I just said, on any given day in the AFC North. Last season, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they finished 500. They went 3-3 versus AFC North opponents. In 2023, they went 5-1 versus AFC North opponents.
Okay.
So I'm pretty much banking on them winning 3 more games in their division.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I think they'll be a 10-17. I don't think they'll be below 500, although I still believe they're going to be 0-1. I think that Jets are going to beat them. I can see them being 3-2. I think they'll lose to Minnesota. I think they'll be 3-2. Yeah, I'm standing on business right now. They're not going to go into my team stadium with a new head coach that didn't want Aaron Rodgers anymore, and a new quarterback, and say, yeah, you ain't coming in here riding in on that Steelers black and gold horse and getting a win when you didn't get a lot of wins in that stadium with the Jets. You're not getting one as the opposing quarterback. I think they're going to be 0-1 because that emotion is going to be there in that building on both sides. That's a perfect game to open up the regular season with the Steelers and the Jets. But to your point about Mike Tomlin, and also having the increased expectations, because Omar Khan, he was part of the Pat McAfee show today as the Steelers general manager, and it's not just about making the playoffs in the Steel City.
Until we win a Super Bowl, I don't really deserve any credit, but the reality is we our goal is to win a Super Bowl this year, and every move we make is reflective of that, and, we understand we can't sacrifice the future, but, we won a Super Bowl this year, and the moves that we made and how we structured these contracts, it's with that goal in mind.
Yeah, that goal in mind is because of the quarterback that you have, that you're hoping for that one last hurrah, that one last huzzah when it comes to Aaron Rodgers will benefit your football team, especially when you have not had any quarterback like this since Ben Roethlisberger retired. That's why that optimism is there in Pittsburgh. That's why the fans are feeling better. Most of the fans. I'm sure there are plenty of fans in Pittsburgh that don't want him as their quarterback, but he is who you have, and that's who you're going to have to ride and rock with Aaron Rodgers. With the way they play defense, that offensive line keeps getting better. I think DK Metcalf is going to be terrific as well. I can see this being a 10-win team. And if he plays anywhere near what they're hoping that he's going to play in 2025 when it comes to Aaron Rodgers, well, then potentially 2 things could happen. Number 1, they won't be a flame out in the playoffs. They might get at least 1 win in a loaded AFC. And number 2, if that happens, he's going to be playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2026. It will not be the last year for Aaron Rodgers if he plays to the capabilities that he believes and the Steelers believe that he can play to in 2025.
Freddie, I'm going to start with the Pittsburgh Steelers and their defense. We all know up front it's all about T.J. Watt. I know Cam Hayward is there, but it's all about T.J. Watt. They have a young player at the linebacker position in Peyton Wilson that they got as a steal in the draft last year. Played meaningful snaps for them. Also paired up with Patrick Queen. Now, what people aren't talking enough about, in my opinion, is how the secondary of the Pittsburgh Steelers have gotten better. When you go get a Jalen Ramsey, and a lot of people ask me, is this an upgrade over Fitzpatrick? In my eyes, yes, it is. Right. Because now you have a guy from a coverage standpoint who's better than Fitzpatrick. You also have a guy who can play multiple positions and add versatility to your defense. He can play as a middle of the field safety. He can play as a half field safety. He can play down in the box. He can play nickel. He can guard very athletic tight ends as well, and he can be a blitzer. Sure. We forget when Jalen Ramsey won that championship with the Los Angeles Rams, he was paired up with someone who is very, very close with Mike Tomlin. That's Raheem Morris. Raheem Morris and Mike Tomlin coached together for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And Raheem utilized him in a way that I felt like Jalen Ramsey was not used up until that point. You think Mike Tomlin's not going to look at that?
Absolutely.
He's going to look at that through and through. Him and Raheem Morris are best friends. Now, I would also add Darius Slay. So now you're not just counting on a young corner and Joey Porter Jr. to get it done. Mm-hmm. You have some veterans now in that secondary in Jalen Ramsey and also Darius Slay. But I also love their first-round draft pick, Derek Harmon out of Oregon. So that's the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, it's all going to start for me looking at this football team up front with their offensive line. Because 4 of their 5 starters are going into year 2 or year 3 of starting. The quicker those guys can maul people, win a line of scrimmage, sure, the better off this run game is going to be. And if you tell me the Pittsburgh Steelers have a top 5 run game, that means everything is not on Aaron Rodgers and his shoulders, or I should say his arm. That means he's going to be protected in the pass game because so many people are worried about the run. Now you got to bring more defenders in the box. And now that's going to leave DK Metcalf one-on-one on the outside. But they also traded for a guy by the name of Jonnu Smith. Mm-hmm. And they're pairing him up with Pat Freiermuth. Mm-hmm. People, don't sleep on Jonnu Smith. I played with him with the Tennessee Titans when Arthur Smith was there. He played for Arthur Smith in Atlanta. Jonnu Smith had a unbelievable year last season for the Miami Dolphins. I would say from an offensive standpoint, he was the brightest spot for the Miami Dolphins last season overall. Now, he's going to be paired up with an offensive coordinator that knows how to utilize him, and you give Aaron Rodgers that weapon as well as Pat Freiermuth. It's offensively, if the offensive line is gelling, this is going to be a very good football team. Don't be surprised.
Well, we believe that they're going to be over that 8.5 win total, over under when it comes to the Pittsburgh Steelers, which is the most bet on over under win total according to ESPN Bet. But there's always somebody that's not going to be a believer. He's going to be that non-believer. And who is that person? Of course, it's Chris Canty from Unsportsmanlike regarding the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers.
Why would I think Aaron Rodgers is going to help the Pittsburgh Steelers compete for a playoff spot and win a playoff game? It's not going to happen. He's going into his age 42 season. Outside of Tom Brady, who has success in their age 42 season? Nobody. Not nobody. Like, we've seen several quarterbacks. I think there are 5 quarterbacks to start and win a playoff game in their 40s. But Tom Brady is the only one to do it at 42. So what exactly are we talking about? I just don't get it. Aaron Rodgers has been bad the last 3 years.
Let me ask you this, Freddie Coleman.
Have at it. Mm-hmm.
If I told you right now on paper, if you had to pick between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Indianapolis Colts winning that ball game, who are you picking?
I'm taking the Steelers.
Okay, that's one. If I asked you to pick between the Miami Dolphins and the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are you taking?
I'm taking the Steelers.
You're taking the Steelers. Okay, so that's 2.
Uh-huh.
It's 2 more wins right there.
Yeah, I'm taking them because until the Dolphins can show me what they can do against a really top-flight defense with that offense, not buying that, and we don't know who's going to be playing quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts. It should be Anthony Richardson, but if he's not playing up to the standards that they believe he should be playing as a top 5, top 4 pick, guess what's going to be on the center? It's going to be, as you call him, the Big Apple turnover, or the artist formerly known as the Big Apple turnover, Daniel Jones getting the starting quarterback, not in Indianapolis.
So here's one more for you. If I told you today, if you're picking the Chicago Bears or the Pittsburgh Steelers to win that ball game, who are you picking?
I'm still taking the Steelers.
Steelers. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's 3 wins.
That's 3, yep.
That's 3 more.
Okay. So you're saying they're going to be a 13-win team?
But like if they start the season 4-1.
If they start 4-1, they're winning 11.
If they start 4-1, right?
They're winning 11 games.
About even if they go 500 in the division, the AFC North, That's 7 wins, right? And I just gave you 3 more. That's 10.
If they start the season 4-1, they're winning 11 games. That'll be the floor, in my opinion. The ceiling could be maybe 13. But if they start 4-1, they're going to, believe me, they're going to win 11 games. That's just, I'm just putting it out there.
I think people sometimes get so caught up in it being Aaron Rodgers and not actually really thinking while you're talking about Aaron Rodgers, the Pittsburgh Steelers as an organization and how they've been able to do things with incompetent quarterback play. Well, I'll say Russell Wilson was better than incompetent quarterback play.
Until the end.
But Russell Wilson is not better than Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion. I'm not taking Russell Wilson over Aaron Rodgers.
I'm with you. There's no way I'm doing that. Yeah. If they go 4-1 to start the season, they'll be at worst 11-6 and a potential threat in a loaded AFC. If form holds, and we know in the NFL, form never holds. That's just not how the NFL gets down. Story. He is Harry Douglas. I'm Freddie Coleman. Appreciate you joining us in the Afternoon Cool, known as Freddie and Harry, presented by Progressive Insurance on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Protect the stuff you love with Renters Insurance. How do you find that protection? By visiting Progressive.com.
The 3 important things we need to see this week in sports.
1, 2, 3.
It's time for the Freddie and Harry.
Let's check in here.
Midweek check-in.
And the midweek check-in to get your weekend set this way, you don't have to worry about having anything else to fill out on your dance card. It's brought to you by Vivid Seats. They're the official ticketing partner of ESPN. Get great deals on the hottest tickets. This way, you can experience it live.
Number one,
let's go around to the National Football League, y'all. Training camps have started. All 32 teams are in the heart of it right now. But I want to focus on key injuries for certain players on particular teams. And number 1, I'm going to the quarterback position. Kenny Pickett for the Cleveland Browns. This is now opening up doors, I feel like, for rookie quarterback Dylan Gabriel and also Shedeur Sanders to get more reps to showcase what they can do to try to climb up on that depth chart to get some playing time sometime soon. Sooner better than later.
True.
Especially because we know Cleveland has those 2 first-round picks in 2026. So Kenny Pickett for the Cleveland Browns with the hamstring injury, that's number 1. Number 2 on my list, I have Justin Jefferson and his hamstring injury. And the reason why I feel like this is significant at the moment is because you want him to have that rapport and that work with J.J. McCarthy as he's becoming the starter for the Minnesota Vikings this season. Now, 3rd on my list, I'm going with wide receiver Darnell Mooney, who hurt his shoulder. He's going to be out a few weeks.
Yeah.
Darnell Mooney last year, I felt like was one of the most underrated free agent signings amongst any NFL team. He was 8 yards shy of 1,000 yards. He came up big in a lot of close games that the Falcons won early on and mid-season. When they needed to play to get done down in 2 minutes or in any other situation, Darnell Mooney showed that he can be counted on and trusted. And last on my list when it comes to injuries and key ones in the National Football League, quarterback Matthew Stafford has the back issue right now. He's not practicing. He's being held out. I'm not going to say it's on a scale of 1 to 10, it's a 10.
Right.
But I'm going with a 7 right now because Matthew Stafford does play a position where you're constantly contacted by defensive linemen and your body can be torqued in ways that you can't even brace yourself.
I'm going to stay right there on that injury tip in training camp involved in the National Football League because my number 1 is which NFL star could be next. It seems that we're seeing more and more of that, especially those soft tissue injuries in training camp regarding no matter what National Football League team it is, no matter what position they play, no matter where their star is in the NFL universe. You gave a litany of people in terms of they're going to be that important to their teams, trying to overcome injuries. And normally that injury this early in training camp, it puts even more stress on your body to try to get back and get ready for an NFL season. So you got Kenny Pickett, Justin Jefferson, and Matthew Stafford. What next NFL star? Because there is going to be a next with the NFL season 36 days away.
Number 2
on the list, we're going to go to the WNBA. Midweek check-in. Big matchup tonight, 8 p.m. on ESPN. You look at the New York Liberty versus the Minnesota Lynx. Nafisha Collier has been amazing all season long. She's leading the WNBA in scoring. When you look at the New York Liberty, they will be without Brianna Stewart, which is a huge loss for them because we know Stewie is a player that can do it both, not just on offense, but also on the defensive side. And she's a player that they're counting on. So I'm really looking forward to this matchup. I'm actually watching this game, Freddie, with my daughter tonight at 8 p.m. on ESPN.
It's a shame this game wasn't early in the season. This is the first time these two are meeting in the regular season after having that 5-game brawl that they had to determine the WNBA champion. This game should have been opening night, but I digress. My number 2, the trading deadline in Major League Baseball will expire by 6 p.m. tomorrow night. Some deals have already been made, but what MLB team can make the best move at the trading deadline? And if it's not the New York Yankees, then what? Because I know the Blue Jays have been scuffling lately, but they still have a decent lead over the New York Yankees in the American League East. The Boston Red Sox, they're not going away quietly. The Tampa Bay Rays will make it a hell for somebody else. There's going to be a team out there that has to make a great move now to fortify their bullpen, starting pitching, adding another stick to their lineup. What team is that going to be? And if it's not a team that's trying to get to the top or at the top, it could make it a very difficult August and September in the race for the pennant in Major League Baseball.
Number 3.
Uno, dos, tres. Or if you're going to Jamaica, tree. Here's number 3. We're going to Major League Baseball. We do know that the home run leader currently right now is Cal Raleigh with 41. Unbelievable one home run derby. Big Dipper, Little Dipper, every kind of Dipper you can think of was supporting him at All-Star Weekend. But can he break the AL home run record, which was set by Aaron Judge in 2022 with 62 home runs? Now, he's already 7 home runs away for having the most home runs as a catcher, which was set by Salvador Perez in 2021 with 48 for the Kansas City Royals. So looking forward to seeing Cal Raleigh and how this thing is going to finish up from a home run perspective and where he's going to land when it's all said and done.
Anybody has to name the Big Dumper, you root for. when you got
Big Dumper. I said Big Dipper.
That's okay. No, but I understood what you. I
was thinking about baseball dipping and stuff.
I thought you were talking about during the All-Star Weekend when he was there with all the stars of the galaxy, like the Big Dipper and Little Dipper. That's why I thought you were going. So you had me down. Oh yeah, there's a Big Dipper, there's a Little Dipper.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
He was on the Milky Way, the galaxy, when it came to All-Star Weekend.
Hitting all those damn moon balls.
Exactly, in your city in Atlanta on that Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.
Whether you want to dump or whether you want to dip, it's your choice.
I'm just going to move on from that and have everybody move on to Major League Baseball this weekend because the Big Dumper that you mentioned, Cal Raleigh, he'll be a part of 4 really good series that'll happen starting on Friday. His team, Seattle, taking on the Texas Rangers. Right now, they lead the American League West. They have the San Francisco Giants against my New York Mets, only a half game ahead of the Philadelphia Phillies in the NL East. Houston at Boston. These two teams have developed kind of, we don't like you, you don't like us kind of deal. That's going to make a very interesting series. And also Alex Bregman, going up against his former team, now with the Boston Red Sox. And then Detroit at Philadelphia. Detroit trying to find their way back. They had a really difficult last month or so playing Major League Baseball, where for a while there, they had the best record in baseball. And that Philadelphia Phillies team, we got to start talking about Kyle Schwarber being more in the MVP conversation.
Yes.
37 home runs, the most by any Phillies player before the month of August. I know Shohei Ohtani is the best player in Major League Baseball. Another guy's been really, really, really terrific. But we got to start talking about Kyle Schwarber as an MVP candidate because without him, I don't know where the Philadelphia Phillies would be. I'll tell you, not in first place or near first place in the NL East. So I got an eye on all 4 of those series. Detroit at Philadelphia, Houston at Boston, San Francisco, my New York Mets, and Texas taking on Seattle with the Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh.
Well, I think Schwarber, he dips.
Yeah, he looks like he would do that.
Oh, yeah. He looks like a dipper.
Yeah. When he
a big dipper, not a little dipper.
When he dipped, you dip, he dipped. Yeah, he definitely getting down.
Put my hand up on my
Get that home run over that fence. When you dip, I dip, he dipped. When it comes to Kyle Schwarber of the Philadelphia Phillies. He is Harry Douglas on the socials at HDouglas83. I'm Freddie Coleman. Hit me in the socials at Coleman ESPN. Thanks for joining us on the Afternoon Cool known as Freddie and Harry, presented by Progressive Insurance. We know about the teams trying to be elite, trying to be at the top in the NFL. But here are the 5 teams, I believe, that'll be on the opposite side of that. They will be the worst of the worst. And could it be your team in the NFL in 2025? This is ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
This weekend on ESPN Radio.
Diving play, Keith, throw to first, got him.
The Detroit Tigers storm into Philadelphia to face the Phillies. Coverage begins Saturday at 3:30 Eastern and Sunday at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Presented by Progressive Insurance.
Now is the perfect time to start on your next success. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start August 13th. An accredited state university, University of Maryland Global Campus, offers online and hybrid courses. Plus, you can earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits towards a master's. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chevy.
We expect our information in real time. US Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 888-665-0696 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check as easy as, that's 888-665-0696.
Friday nights in August, it's Farmer City Raceway with their full show plus kids mods brought to you by Nutrient. Adults are $15, veterans $10, kids 12 and under are free. Hot laps around the quarter-mile dirt track start at 6:30. Head to 850 Grove Street in Farmer City before the final Friday, August 29th, with $5,000 to win for the Mars late models during the Chuck Wagon Food Service Richardson Memorial Modifieds and Pro Late Model Racing. You'll buy the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
Why visit Freedom Roofing for your roof repair or replacement? Just listen to what satisfied customers are saying.
Freedom Roofing was quick to respond, reasonably priced, and their quality was excellent.
They found an immediate issue, patched it on the spot, and later replaced our entire roof. We couldn't be happier.
For local, trusted roofing done right, visit freedomchampaign.com or call 217-393-6000 today.
You've heard about the doggy bag, right? From Bulldog Disposal Muhammad, a 6 cubic yard canvas bag that can be used for easy cleanup instead of a big dumpster. The one-time use bag is now available and you can save the delivery charge. Get the doggy bag at Do It Best Hardware in Champaign at 107 West Springfield. So fill up the bag, call Bulldog Disposal, have it disposed of, and you'll be organized. Go to bulldoggybag.com for all the details. That's bulldoggybag.com.
Jesse with Land's Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions. Hey, do you have sewer blockages, problems? Are your toilets gurgling? Why deal with the headache? Call Land's Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions today. We can come out and clean your line, camera it, show you what the problem is, and then we have an expert underground team that can make those repairs. 217-355-5512. We are here for you when you need us. Land's Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions. Why call anyone else?
All right, it's Tim Onstadt. What about Gale Ferrex Trucking? What do I need to know?
We're busy. There is kind of an alarming trend in the trucking industry right now with freight rates being a little bit depressed, but our drivers are still doing good. That we have insurance for that with their $1,200 gross minimum weekly guarantee, so we make it put the pressure back on us to make your living. I've got one spot open for a driver, maybe one opening up with a retirement here in about a month and a half, but I'm ready for somebody. If you want to get on the list or want to make plans a month and a half out, definitely give me a holler and come and see me. Phone number is 765-793-7131, and then hit 4 with the auto attendant to get directly to my office.
And that's Gale Ferrex Trucking, home on weekends, $1,200 minimum a week. You can make some money if you're hungry. You can go out and make some money. Tim, we're rooting for you, buddy. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
See you later.
Talk to you soon. Tim Onstadt, Gale Ferrex Trucking, dedicated diesel pitmaster extraordinaire.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Bengals All-Pro defensive end Trey Hendrickson ended his holdout and reported to training camp today. Hendrickson, coming off his best season in the NFL, indicated he still doesn't plan on participating until he receives a contract extension.
Circumstantially, I'm more excited to getting something done. I'm a firm believer of hard work works. The work I've done in the last 4 years, 5 years, 8 years in the NFL is done. I can't do any more at this time to rush the passer on Sundays. The hay's in the barn. It's just whether we agree or not.
Bengals defensive end Trey Hendrickson. Chiefs receiver Xavier Worthy placed in concussion protocol. The Yankees acquired outfielder Austin Slater from the White Sox for a pitching prospect as New York continues to bolster a roster currently without superstar slugger Aaron Judge ahead of tomorrow's MLB trade deadline. Blue Jays beat the Orioles 9-8, ended a 4-game slide. They remain tied for the best record in the American League with the Tigers, who defeated the Diamondbacks 7-2. Red Sox routed the Twins 13-1. Boston currently holding the second AL wild card. Key NL Central matchup, Cubs up 8-3 on the Brewers bottom 8. Pete Crow Armstrong, 2 hits, an RBI, and a run scored.
Your summer drink is here. Twisted Tea is a smooth, refreshing, hard iced tea with 5% alcohol, making it the perfect drink to take any day this summer to the next level. Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
This is Freddie and Harry on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Here's Harry Douglas. I'm Freddie Coleman. Oh, yeah, the tune's all part of our White Boy Wednesday edition of the afternoon crew known as Freddie and Harry. Thanks for joining us on Sirius XM Channel 80, as well as tune in and tell that smart speaker to play ESPN Radio. We're dedicating this day because when Harry Douglas played in the National Football League, they had a specific day, the 10 years he played for either Atlanta or the Tennessee Titans. That Wednesday, the tunes were White Boy Wednesday tunes. So in honor of Harry Douglas, with training camps going in full force in the NFL, and we're 36 days away from the beginning of the NFL season, we decided to do a little bit of that on Freddie and Harry when it comes to White Boy Wednesday.
Spin the bottle like the spider spins the web.
You need
Body.
You need Nick Carter for that one. You swear that's how Nick Carter, one of my guys behind the scenes, that's how he talks, and nothing could be further from the truth in terms of...
Spin the bottle. Yeah.
Welcome to Stereotype White Boy Wednesday here on Freddie and Harry. But there's no such thing as a stereotype in terms of what teams could be at the bottom of the NFL. It changes year by year, unless...
ESPN Radio's NFL Rank-Up from the top 5 head coaches.
Andy Reid is still the standard, folks.
We all know it's Big Red, okay? It's Andy Reid, obviously.
Andy Reid, he knows what's going on. He's the best coach in the NFL right now.
To the top 5 pretenders.
The Minnesota Vikings.
The Chicago Bears.
The Miami Dolphins.
Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
And everything in between. This is ESPN Radio's NFL Rank-Up. The bottom 5 worst teams.
It's going to be tough because in the NFL, you can go from worst to a playoff team, or you can be in that bottom 5 because that's how the NFL is. It's not year by year. It's not week by week. It is second by second. But there can only be 5, so let's not start at number 1. We'll start with
number 5.
I know a lot of people love them, including Harry Douglas. The New England Patriots are still about a year and a half away. Drake May is going to be really good at quarterback, but I still worry about a team that doesn't have those playmakers you're going to need in a loaded AFC on both sides of the football. Their coach is better, but you can't have your coach being the better playmaker than guys you got out there, Mike Vrabel. So the Patriots will be improved, but not improved enough. I still think they'll be last in their division, and they're going to make incremental progress. Also, Harry Douglas' eyes just completely bugged out of his head when I said about the Patriots going to be last in the AFC East, but that's what's going to happen for the second straight year. I got the Patriots at number 5.
Number 4.
The New Orleans Saints. Who's going to play quarterback?
Hello.
I mean, I don't think Drew Brees is going to come out of retirement to help them, which means that's going to be a very heavy load that their new head coach, Kellen Moore, is about to take on. They got decent guys on defense, but offensively, they're going to be a mess, especially when right now we don't know who the quarterback is going to be. It could be Tyler Shuck, the rookie, who they took in the second round from Harry's school, the Louisville Cardinals, which means that going into a season with a rookie quarterback, exponentially, there are going to be some bumps and some bruises and some bruises and some bumps. He's going to be more black and blue than black and gold playing for the Saints. That's why I got the Saints at number 4.
Number 3.
Their owner said they got to be better than 3 and 14 when it comes to the Cleveland Browns. Right, Jimmy Haslam?
Listen, we got to do better than 3, okay? To put a number on it, I don't think we will ever do that.
everybody, coaches, players, personnel, ownership, all knows that 3-14 won't cut it. We've got to do better. I think we'll know what better looks like.
Yeah, he doesn't even sound believable.
That's what I was thinking. I'm glad it's like you're in my head. Well, we got to be better than 3-14. That's the way of saying, I hope we're better than 3-14.
Like he didn't say it with any conviction or anything.
Not at all.
No base in it, nothing. Just, we got to be better than 3-14.
Can anybody help us a quarterback? Anybody?
We need it.
We need it. So, yeah, the Browns' defense will be pretty good. The problem with that is they're going to play a lot of snaps because the offense, Jerry Jeudy is going to be wide open a lot of plays. And the only time he's going to see the ball is when it's snapped once again the next play if the quarterback gets sacked. It could be a long season in Cleveland, no matter who's playing quarterback. It's going to be a long season in Cleveland, no matter who's playing quarterback. I got them as potentially the third worst team in the National Football League. Harry Douglas, Freddie Coleman. We're doing our NFL Rankem series on Freddie and Harry. My 5 worst teams in the NFL right here on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. I got the Patriots at 5. I got the Saints at 4. And I got the Browns at 3. That means we're up to
number 2.
I like Cam Ward a lot. He's going to like the ground a lot, too, because he's going to be hitting the ground a lot playing quarterback for the Tennessee Titans. His leadership already has taken on terrific proportions with the Tennessee Titans. They love the fact that he's the first guy in, the last guy to leave. But not having any kind of talent, there's only so much you can do with a rookie quarterback and that kind of confidence. Defensively, they weren't bad last year, but then they started getting an injury here, an injury there, and they were talent deficient when it comes to overall depth with the Tennessee Titans. They'll be improved. They can't be any worse than they were last year. They're going to be a lot better quarterback. They should be better at different positions, but that's still going to take a while. I got Tennessee at number 2.
Number 1.
I think the New York Giants are going to be the worst team in the National Football League. I know people love their defense. I know the artist formerly known as Shannon Penn. The reason that he's in the fan transfer portal is because he does not trust his former head coach, Brian Daboll, and Joe Schoen as a general manager. They have Russell Wilson playing quarterback, and he'll say the right things. He'll smile and do everything else. But the offensive line's already having problems in training camp. The defense is having their way, which is not a marker that you want to have for your offense. Jalen Hyde, they're hoping he can do something. Malik Neighbors already having hamstring issues in training camp. You put that kind of black cloud over this team that they may have to start Jackson Dart sooner than later. I think when it's all said and done, that the New York Giants will be the worst team in 2025 in the National Football League.
So I do believe when it comes to the Browns at number 3 and the Giants at number 1, those two teams, they're going to fight it out for whoever is the worst team and who will have the number 1 overall pick in 2026. Well, let me add another team, the New Orleans Saints, the trifecta. Those are the 3 teams that will fight it out on who would have the number 1 pick in 2026. The Patriots at number 5, Freddie, I would not put them on this list.
Okay, why not?
I believe the Patriots are going to be a much better football team than people can actually envision right now, especially with Mike Vrabel coming back as their head coach, Josh McDaniels as their offensive coordinator, and a lot of players that they now have on this roster, both on offense, 3 weapons that they got, Kyle Williams from Washington State, human joystick, Stephon Diggs at the wide receiver position, and then Travion Henderson. I believe because of, Josh McDaniels and his background and understanding how to play the guy's strengths from an offensive standpoint, he's going to utilize those guys in the best ways possible. And defensively, they just went and got players. They said we had a ton of money in cap space and we're going to get players because you're not going to win games in this league if you don't play defense. And the mindset of Mike Vrabel, that hard-nosed, that tough guy, I believe they're going to be way better than people actually can see right now.
That's a lot of faith in those 3 rookies. I love the fact you have faith in them, and that's not to say you should not have faith. But that learning curve is going to be steep, especially when teams know, all right, you're going to have to prove you can get behind us on our defense when you're trying to run the football, when it comes to Travion Henderson, or get behind our secondary trying to pass the football. They still got to fix that offensive line. That offensive line is still in flux with New England Patriots. And if you don't have the ability to keep people
invested
clean,
into it. Like their first round draft pick, Will Campbell.
I like Will Campbell a lot.
I thought it was great, right? Because they understood that they needed more skill position players, but they didn't say, hey, let's just jump off a ledge and go pick the shiny toys, right? And when you don't even have an engine for them.
Right.
They said, okay, we have a quarterback. We know who our guy is. We're going to make sure that he's protected. We're going with Will Campbell. Yeah. I don't care that he has short arms.
Yeah, and I don't care. As long as you're blocking people, you can have alligator arms. You keeping the quarterback clean, I don't really care. when you try to measure some guys' arms, but I saw a guy that dominated people at LSU every time I watched him on TV last year and had a chance to see him. I saw plenty of times that quarterback dropped back to pass, didn't have to worry about the left side of the building because Will Campbell had that protected. So I don't care what kind of short arms or alligator arms he has. I know he keeps the quarterback clean and can drive block people down the field. I'll take that guy. I just think that building process, and I like the way they're going about it, to your point. I like the way they've been able to go, what do we need? What do we have to fix? It wasn't about the splash. It wasn't about the shiny. It was about the need. It was about the necessity. It was about filling that kind of hole. They've done that so far. I just think that's asking a lot of all those rookies to do that with a quarterback that, let's call it as it is, essentially Drake May could be in another rookie year. New offense coordinator, new head coach, whatever he had to learn last year, he has to unlearn this year with a new offensive install. So that's going to take a little bit of time, no matter how sharp he is. I just think all those things together, this will be a better Patriot team towards the end of the season when they get used to those kind of things. I think early on they're going to be on the struggle bus, and it's going to be hard to get off of that. That's why I have it at number 5. I think going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL.
And I also want to let all our listeners know, coming up at 5:10 p.m., I will rank the 5 non-playoff teams that could make the playoffs in 2025. Now, let me throw some more teams at you really quick, Freddie.
Okay. I almost put the Panthers there, but I thought the Panthers improved as a 5-12 team. Yeah, as a 5-12 team. They could have mailed it in against your Atlanta Falcons, who had to try to win to get in the playoffs, and they didn't do that. I thought the minute they put Bryce Young back in that backfield, they got better. Even when Chuba Hubbard got injured running back, Bryce Young said, put it on my shoulders. And he carried that team and scared the death out of Tampa Bay at home, where they had a chance to win that ball game for losing in overtime. I almost put in my bottom 5, but I think they've improved enough with Bryce Young and a defense that got a little bit better. And they got big play wide receivers now on the outside. That's going to help Bryce Young and that offensive line in Carolina.
So another team I probably would have put on there, not because I don't believe in the coaching or the quarterback, but because of how the schedule is constructed. It's the Las Vegas Raiders. Yeah. And when you look at their schedule, number one, the AFC West, in my opinion, that's the toughest division in football. Now, outside of their division, they play the Commanders.
Oof.
They play the Dallas Cowboys.
The Eagles.
They play the Philadelphia Eagles. They play the Houston Texans as well. So,
at least they got a quarterback.
In New England, game 1, I don't think it's going to be an easy game for them.
It will not for either team. I'm with you on that one.
You think you slick, Freddie?
What are you talking about?
You think you slick?
What are you
I
talking
see
about?
what you're doing. I can see right through it.
What about the Jets, Freddie?
I can see right through it, Freddie.
No,
trying to be slick.
Jets are not going to be a bottom 5 team. Jets could be an 8-win team. Why am I slick, Shannon?
You put the Giants. You purposely put the Giants at number 1, so that I would get all defensive here and try to drum up some of my interest, my love, my passion for the Giants again.
Shannon, you know
I
how much
see exactly what you're doing. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. I see right through it.
Shannon, you know how much I love you as a brother. I would not even have that banana in the tailpipe situation regarding you.
Oh,
I would not even do that to you. I would not try to do that to you to try to draw you back into being a New York Giants fan by placing them at the bottom of my teams, who I believe are going to be the 5 worst teams in the NFL. It's time for you to take over the network right now, Freddie and Harry, on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. We want to find out from you how your NFL team is going to be better in 2025, whether they made the playoffs or did not make the playoffs.
Your opinion matters.
Okay, please call me. Please call me.
Call Freddie and Harry now.
Hello.
1-888-SAY-ESPN.
How's it going? Oh, hey.
That's 1-888-729-3776.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sports book for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Mom, she won't stop touching me. Broccoli stinks.
Guys, no phones at the table.
Family dinner time? Not easy. But you know what is easy?
OSF On-Call Urgent Care. When you need convenient, affordable care for minor illnesses and injuries, you need OSF On-Call Urgent Care. Be seen in person or connect 24/7 online when and where you need it. Learn more at osfoncall.org/urgent care.
Take charge of the years ahead with a smart, sound investment strategy and business succession plan. Busey Bank's business and wealth management experts help you envision your best future with powerful insights and proven strategies. Building business and growing wealth since 1868, Busey Bank, proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
We're talking to John Reichert and Neil Asklin. I guess the first question for me, John, is what is it like being part of A&R, knowing how this all started? It was your grandfather, then your dad, and now you, and 100 years in business is hard. How do you explain that?
Well, it's incredible, honestly. When I was a boy, obviously my father was running the company. It's always been, part of my life, but I knew that we had good people, at that time that worked for the company. I think with God's help and protection that we survived and frankly thrived.
I think the thrive is the key word here. Neil Asklin, I guess let me ask you about your dad, Ken Asklin, who partnered with Dave and they got it going in the 50s and kept it going. And you being part of the company.
I've been around since I was a young teenager, so something that I've grown to love, and the camaraderie and getting things done. And these huge projects that we're doing now just amazes me.
A&R Mechanical, a thriving leader 100 years later. Tell me about Gail Frericks Trucking.
We're doing great right now with freight and drivers. We do have a couple of spots. For July, I'm going to go ahead. We did last month, and it was great, and it filled up what we had available. I'm going to go ahead and do a $4,000 sign-on bonus for the month of July. And with the reminder that the drivers that are with us when harvest starts will be the first ones that have the opportunity to haul grain in the fall. There'll be about 4 or 5 of those spots open. That means they're home every night. They're making a good paycheck every day. Now they do have to work on the weekends some during harvest because that's all dictated by the weather. But we have several people that enjoy doing that.
You bet.
So if somebody is interested in that, get on with us now, get some regional work in, and be ready to go harvest in the fall.
Give us that contact information.
Email me at timo@gftlog.com or call me 765-793-7131 and hit 4 when the auto attendant answers.
Hey, Joe Fortenbaugh here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sports book for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with the promo code JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Introducing the new Dell AI PC, powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps do your busy work for you, so you can fast forward through editing images, designing presentations, generating code, debugging code, summarizing meeting notes, finding files, managing your schedule, responding to Jim's long emails, leaving all the time in the world for the things you actually want to do. No offense, Jim. Get a new Dell AI PC starting at $749.99 at Dell.com/AI-PC. How those ahead stay ahead.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where'd I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
This is Freddie and Harry on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Harry Douglas and Freddie Coleman on the White Boy Wednesday edition of Freddie and Harry. Appreciate you joining us on Sirius XM Channel 80, as well as tuning in. Tell that smart speaker to play ESPN Radio. We are 36 days away from the beginning of the NFL season when the Philadelphia Eagles will host the Dallas Cowboys. Tell us, and don't use health as your reasoning. Tell us why your NFL team is going to be better in 2025. For example, Harry Douglas believes his Atlanta Falcons will be better because Michael Penix Jr. is playing quarterback. They made a lot of great moves on defense in the draft and free agency. They're going to be better in 2025 and maybe challenge in the NFC South and win that division. That's what we're looking for. Not like, well, if they stay healthy. You do that, you might get hung up on. 888 say ESPN, 888-729-3776. Vanilla Magic in Missouri. Who is your NFL team? And tell us why they will be better, and don't use health as that reason.
All right, what's up, Bill?
What's going on?
Chiefs all day, and my get-to point is coach has been sharpening their knives. Players been doing what they need in the weight room, getting them plays down. Sucks that the wide receivers keep getting dinged up like yesterday, but I think they'll all be all right. But as for white boys at rap, check out NF. That's all I have to say.
Well, no. Don't go anywhere, Vanilla Magic.
Right.
We have to ask you I think the most glaring question. Where did you get your name, Vanilla Magic, from?
Especially on White Boy Wednesday.
Talk to us.
Exactly. Hit the nail on the head. Got a little swirl in it, a little spike.
And baby, Vanilla Magic, that is.
Asking you shall deliver and asking you shall receive as far as that goes. Mike in the great Hoosier state of Indiana. Mike, tell us why your NFL team will be better in 2025.
Love the show, guys.
Thank
Huge
you,
Dolphin fan. Tua will play a full season. He'll be in the MVP candidate race. The running game will rebound. Defensive front seven will be east. Won't let anything through. We're going to win half our cold weather games this year and make the playoffs.
Confidence.
I would say this, that Tua being healthy for a season is huge, right? In the 4 years that he's played, there's only been one season where he's played all 17 games.
Right.
He has to be better at that.
Yeah, and by the way, the cold weather games he mentioned, Sunday, December 7th at the New York Jets, Monday, December 15th at the Pittsburgh Steelers, then the final game of the regular season in January at New England. So, yeah, not too many times the Dolphins had 3 cold weather games like that in December. And none of those games are a playoff game. That's very rare scheduling against a warm weather team like the Miami Dolphins. JD in New Jersey, tell us why your NFL team will be better in 2025.
Hey, what's good, fellas,
What's
man?
going on?
Freddie, I've been listening to you for a while, man. Late night since like 15. Harry Davis, I love the work you're putting on ESPN and the show and everything.
Thank you.
But I'm on y'all heels about my Giants, man. You feel me? I got 2 words for y'all: defensive line and scatterable. Remember JD told you this from Jersey, man. You can definitely count on that happening. Definitely been a big difference this year.
Well, your defense should be better. The only problem I have is that if the offense is not any good, JD, your defense will be playing a lot of snaps because you got some dudes. Dexter Lawrence in the middle. Only Jalen Carter, I think, is a better defensive tackle in the NFC than Dexter Lawrence. Brian Burns, now he's going to have to do everything by himself, drafting Abdul Carter. That's going to help, along with having those guys that can rush the passer. But I just wonder, they're going to play way too many snaps that the offense can't hold up some sort of end of the bargain with the New York Giants.
I also believe when it comes to Cam Scatterboo, who they drafted out of Arizona State, in order for him to have that production, the offensive line, those guys have to be gelling. They have to be on one accord, moving in unison, and actually being better than they were a season ago.
Yeah, especially Kayvon Thibodeau, who's now second team behind Abdul Carter. That's what kind of impression Abdul Carter's been able to make for that defense of the New York Giants. But they can have those guys play together as pass rushers. That could be a potential nightmare for opposing offensive lines against the New York Giants. Patrick in Pennsylvania, tell us why your NFL team is going to be better in 2025.
Well, first of all, thank you guys for taking my call. And Harry, I want you to tell the rest of the world who my favorite team is.
Oh, that's the Atlanta Falcons. And Patrick, let me go ahead and handle it for you. The reason why the Falcons are going to be better in 2025, Michael Penix Jr. here comes the gunslinger. Here comes the gunslinger. He's going to be slinging that football every single Sunday. I should say game day. Don't matter when they play. We have 5. I said we. Don't care. You can get salty all you want to. We have 5 national televised games. We play over in Germany. Man, look, the NFL knows something that y'all all don't know. But I also do know it as well. But then when you go use 2 first-round picks on pass rushers, James Pierce Jr., Jalen Walker. Oh, the boy can play the run and he can play the pass. A human car crash waiting to happen. I can't wait to hear them helmets crashing. Boom, boom, boom. Here comes the gunslinger.
By the way, you open up at home versus Tampa Bay. That's going to be some kind of game.
I want them.
Well, they want y'all too. You're going to get them one way or the other. Keep weighing in. Tell us why your NFL team will be better in 2025 on the Freddie Harry call-in line at 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. And Trey Hendricks did not make things better trying to get more money out of the Cincinnati Bengals. That's next on Freddie and Harry.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
ESPN Radio Sports Beat with Freddie Coleman.
Boy, it seems like that Stephen Jones guy, the COO of the Dallas Cowboys, that means Chief Operating Officer, and second in command to Dad Jerry Jones of the Dallas Cowboys. It seems like that takeover, in my opinion, may be happening a lot sooner than anybody could have imagined. He's been really, really dominant lately, having a chance to speak on the microphone. That's not to say he didn't speak before, but it sounded different. Over the weekend, Jerry Jones, his dad, talking about making sure Micah Parsons is going to get signed, and Stephen Jones saying that Micah Parsons has to want to get paid. Then on Tuesday on the radio appearance in Dallas, Texas, he said, hey, don't put this all on us about the narrative that we wait until too late to sign guys to big money contracts. It takes 2 to tango. It has all the makings of Stephen Jones ready to take over the throne. Now, the king is not ready to abdicate yet, but maybe sooner than soon, he'll step aside and let Stephen take over, which could be the best thing for the Dallas Cowboys in a long, long time. In 60 seconds, Trey Hendrickson blinked first in Cincinnati.
GNC knows that you're not always feeling it at the gym. But don't get down, get lit, and get more out of every workout. Beyond Raw Lit is a clinically dosed pre-workout that flips the switch and gives you more energy, focus, intensity, and pumps. The perfect combo for a killer workout. Plus, it's got incredible flavors and thousands of 5-star reviews, so you know it's good. Pick it up at GNC stores or go to GNC.com.
Hey, Joe Fortenbaugh here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sports book for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with the promo code JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Oh, he put it out there after reporting back to the Cincinnati Bengals training camp, ending his holdout, making it a hold-in when it comes to Trey Hendrickson, that he and his representatives talked and said they basically did not want to hold out. They wanted to be there all along. Trey, baby, booby. You know that even if that is true, whatever leverage you thought you had completely ceded that back to Mike Brown and the Cincinnati Bengals. Because I know if I'm Mike Brown, if you were really serious about wanting more money and an extension, you'd have held out and took a chance that the fines that were incurred, that we would have just said, let bygones be bygones. Trey Hendrickson wants to be a Cincinnati Bengal. He does not want to leave the Cincinnati Bengals. He wants to finish his career as a Cincinnati Bengal. Whether that happens or not will depend entirely on how he's able to be that kind of ball player. Whatever leverage he had, whatever he thought he had in favor of himself against Cincinnati, went out the window the minute he ended his holdout and became a hold-in. For the ESPN Radio Sports Beat, I'm Freddie Coleman of ESPN Radio's Freddie and Harry.
You're listening to WSJK, ESPN 93.5, Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Bengals All-Pro defensive end Trey Hendrickson ended his holdout and reported to training camp today, indicated he doesn't plan on participating until he gets a contract extension. Regarding negotiations, Hendrickson told reporters, everything's the same. ESPN NFL analyst Louis Riddick.
This is an easy contract to do. This should be figured out. I just don't understand these types of things. It's hard enough to build a football team, but with premium players that are premium people that have produced for you in the past and are going to produce for you in the future, this is easy.
The holdup in negotiations, guaranteed money. Ravens tight end Isaiah Likely will undergo surgery for a small fracture in his left foot. He'll be out about 6 weeks. Ahead of tomorrow's MLB trade deadline, the Mets acquiring righty Tyler Rogers from the Giants for righty Jose Budo and 2 prospects. Blue Jays snapped a 4-game losing streak, defeated the Orioles 9-8. Tigers took care of the Diamondbacks 7-2. Detroit and Toronto tied for the top spot in the American League. Cubs beat the Brewers 10-3. Chicago's 2 back of NL Central leading Milwaukee.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Thursday, Justin Jefferson said we'll need to be patient with J.J. McCarthy. I'll tell you why the Vikings won't have that luxury. It's unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
From Studio 2 at the worldwide headquarters of ESPN.
Don't worry.
This is Freddie and Harry.
Inside the locker room, like who decides the music? Like who gets to pick the song?
We used to have White Boy Wednesdays, like every team I played on. No, I'm just keeping it real. Like the people like real stuff. Our listeners like things to be kept real, so I'm keeping it real. We had White Boy Wednesdays. So on Wednesdays, it was the rock, the no. So you in there lifting weights and you're saying to yourself, how in the hell am I going to get on this squat rack today? So you'll save your squat day for another day.
Oh, God. This is Freddie and Harry. Let the good times roll.
Harry Douglas, I'm Freddie Coleman. Appreciate you joining us on the best show on your radio. It is the afternoon crew known as Freddie and Harry, and we are here on the ESPN app, Sirius XM Channel 80. You better not forget about us and tune in and always tell that smart speaker. They'll play ESPN Radio 10 minutes away, give or take a lie or two. The 5 teams that did not make the playoffs last year that could make the playoffs this year, according to the one, the only Harry Douglas. And believe me, he'll make you happy about your team or upset that your team's not part of his 5. Either way, you'll get all that coming your way in about 10 minutes. And the Bengals last year were this close to getting into the playoffs. If they could have not started off slow, for example, losing the New England Patriots opening day, or had anybody play a little bit better defense, not named Trey Hendrickson, they could have been a very, very dangerous 60 minutes in the playoffs in the AFC. But this year, it could be even more dangerous with Cincinnati, not just because they have a new defensive coordinator, but Trey Hendrickson back in camp, still looking for an extension. Cincinnati's been unwilling to have any kind of discussions going that way, so he decided to hold out. Then he decided to come back and explain exactly why the time was right to be back today and not be there in the first place as a hold-in.
Prior to leaving to Florida, I was here 30 days in Cincinnati, so the goal was always to be in Cincinnati. Some things transpired. It became public that I left to go to Florida, but it was never something that I wasn't going to be here to help the 2025 Bengals.
Why did you decide to come to practice today?
Like I said, the plan was to be here day one. Like I said, things transpired. Nothing's really changed. So being here, just acclimating with the guys, that was a priority for my wife and I.
Nothing's really changed. It seems that plenty of things have changed.
They should have coached him up before he did that. Like, his team should have coached him up way better before him getting in front of microphones. Because, like, I'm saying to myself, number one, you say you didn't want to be a distraction. Mm-hmm. Well, you're coming back so you don't be a distraction. But right. It was a distraction by you being gone, because that's all we talked about in the media, and how much and how good the Cincinnati Bengals defense were not going to be because you weren't there. And my whole thing is, Freddie, as a former player, I love when guys can do what they need to do to be able to get compensated the way they should be compensated.
Sure.
But at the same time, like, why are you taking a few days of a $50,000 fine if you're only going to come back and do a hold-in? Why not just do a hold-in from Jump Street? Because a lot of people probably thought when they seen on your social media, you post that picture of you being in Florida, they thought you was 10 toes dug into the ground. That there's no way Trey Hendrickson is coming back unless he has a deal. And then you went up there in front of the microphone and you said nothing has changed. So what changed your mind? If you didn't want the $50,000 fine, just say, hey, man, I came back so I don't get fined.
Right. Whatever his reasoning was, he overplayed that reasoning. Because the Bengals know he doesn't want to go anywhere. He has literally made it known ever since that he pretty much has begged for an extension. Let's call it as it is. Let's keep it between male and female adult here. He pretty much begged the Cincinnati Bengals, I want an extension. I deserve an extension. Why aren't you giving me an extension? Cincinnati said, we'll do it on our own time. We know you want to get an extension. We want to get things done, but now is not the time. That's Cincinnati's way of telling him, you're probably going to have to wait until after the regular season is over before we make a decision. Business, Trey, not personal. You can make it personal, but Cincinnati does not care about you making personal when it comes to your feelings. They're going to operate, especially when they didn't reach out to you like they did their quarterback Joe Burrow to bring that money to him. Or to Jamar Chase, the wide receiver. He could have held out, decided to hold in because he knew, I'm going to get my money one way or the other. If you guys play around, once I go out that door, I'm not coming back. Trey Hendrickson has made it pretty clear that even you push him towards that door, he doesn't want to leave. That's why he sounds like this.
I think not only I've mentioned it multiple times this offseason, but also I believe ownership has as well, that there are plans on not having to play under the current deal. So I think that's something we have a common goal to get to. I think that's the plan moving forward is no distractions. I'm excited to be here. I think it's great seeing the brotherhood that's been created
He's
here.
going by the trust of ownership has told me. And if that's the case, Trey, then why did you hold out to begin with?
So here's another thing, though, Freddie. Like, the no distraction part is really bothering me when he says it, because you didn't sign a new deal. So even with you being there, you're still going to get asked about not having a contract.
Right. Yeah.
And if you're doing a hold-in, if you're not participating in everything, then it's still going to be news that you're not full throttle while you're still under contract for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Trey Hendrickson wants the same things that Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins got.
Oh, but you know what the difference is, Freddie? See, those three guys that you just mentioned, those are young players. The Cincinnati Bengals, they said to themselves that, well, okay, yeah, we'll go ahead and give these three guys this money. But we don't like giving big deals to guys that's 30 and above. No. We don't want to do that, especially not no 3 or 4 year deal. No. See, that youth was on the side of Jamar Chase. Now, I'm using that very loosely because the Cincinnati Bengals would have been dumb as all outdoors if they did not sign Jamar Chase. Youth was also on the side of T. Higgins. Youth and changing the franchise was on the side of Joe Burrow. And something that all those guys have in common, they play on the same side of the football, which is the offensive side of the ball.
And when you have Joe Burrow that you went to him and said, here's that contract extension, you're going to make sure that the guys he wants to help him continue to be that way are going to be in the offensive side of the football. The Bengals were a terrible defense last year outside of Trey Hendrickson. Call it as it is. As great as he was a pass rusher, they were still one of the worst defenses in the National Football League.
25th overall in total defense.
If you're the Cincinnati Bengals, you're thinking, we brought a new defensive coordinator, but we're hoping that the personnel around you will be better. And if it's not, and you're still putting up those kind of numbers, then that could be a foolish way to spend our money, especially if you're going to be on the other side of 30 years of age. No matter how much more effective I think that Trey Hendrickson is going to be, I'm not evaluating and looking at him from that standpoint the way the Bengals are. Not saying their approach is right, but they think their approach is right fiscally and economically when it comes to not playing a player past a certain due date, especially the position that he plays. Because when they go off that cliff as a pass rusher, it's sudden. It's not gradual. You don't go from, for example, 19 sacks to 14. No, sometimes go from like 19 sacks to 10. And then from 10 to 5. And then you're on the hook for a lot of money. I'm not defending Cincinnati by feeling that way. But I understand it, especially when, like you said, Harry Douglas, we're not talking about a 26-year-old player here. That by the end of that contract, be 30, 31 years of age. We're talking about a player 30 years of age, that if you give him that kind of extension when he's 33, 34 years of age and maybe not effective, that's a lot of money to pay for a guy that's not a quarterback or helping out your quarterback in the offensive side of the football.
And for a guy like Trey Hendrickson, like, I won't say it's hard for him to understand, but he's also looking at it saying that, okay, there's a guy by the name of Myles Garrett who just got a big contract. He's making $40 million a year. And Myles Garrett is 29 years old. I'm 30. He's also seeing a guy in his own division as well by the name of T.J. Watt, who is now making $41 million a year. And Trey Hendrickson is saying, well, I have 35 sacks in the last 2 years. I had 17 and a half sacks, and I led the NFL in 2024. The next person on my own team that was close to me had 5 sacks. How could this be? Now, I would also say this. If I'm an evaluator and I'm looking at T.J. Watt, Myles Garrett, and Trey Hendrickson, sorry, Trey, you're going to be the third man out when it comes to those other two, because Myles Garrett is a freak of nature. I mean a freak of nature. And I think I'm not doing him justice. When you look at T.J. Watt, since being drafted in 2017, he's first in sacks.
He's become a freak of nature.
Tackle for losses, forced fumbles, QB hits. I've literally seen T.J. Watt win NFL games by himself. And, oh, by the way, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're 1-11 when T.J. Watt does not play. So as much as Trey Hendrickson wants to look at it from the lens of a Myles Garrett and a T.J. Watt, the Cincinnati Bengals are saying, no, sir. That's not the way we're looking at it. But they should be valuing him a lot more than what they are.
And that's where the personal comes in. That's how Trey Hendrickson feels. That's just how we both feel. Wait a minute. Look what I've been able to do for this defense. 35 sacks in the last couple of years. And I have to think about begging you for a contract extension when I've laid it on the line for this defense, when everybody fell apart around me or guys weren't up to the kind of level and the standard that we've needed ever since we got to the Super Bowl. But yet I've always gone out there and been that good soldier. Trey Hendrickson learned the first rule of business. What your value is may not be the same as somebody you want to be next to. It may not even be close to how the value you regard yourself, regard the Bengals think about you, especially when you don't play quarterback.
The worst thing that could have happened for Trey Hendrickson, especially last season, is Cincinnati not making the playoffs. I believe that's the worst thing that could have happened to Trey Hendrickson.
Why?
Because if I'm a front office executive, I'm saying to myself, well, hell, we didn't make the playoffs with you when you had 17 and a half sacks and you led the NFL in sacks. We didn't make it. We didn't make it the last 2 years when you had 35 combined. That's the business side of it, right? Now, we understand that there are little ins and outs, when it comes to negotiations and that whole nine. But that is something I know, not that I think that I know the Cincinnati Bengals are probably thinking in their head, we didn't make the playoffs the last 2 seasons and you had 35 sacks.
And plus, we've already committed a lot of money to younger players. And T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and Joe Burrow. They may have the money available, but not to the liking of Trey Hendrickson. And if he doesn't get a new contract before the season gets started, then it's going to be a really thin what involving his future and what kind of payment he's going to get from the Cincinnati Bengals. He is Harry Douglas. I'm Freddie Coleman. You put us together. It's the afternoon cool edition of Freddie and Harry on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive can help protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, and RV, and more. And if something wasn't mentioned that you had in mind, find out if it can be covered at Progressive.com or call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE because you know what? It probably can be.
ESPN Radio's NFL Rank-Up from the top 5 head coaches.
Andy Reid is still the standard, folks.
We all know it's Big Red, okay? It's Andy Reid, obviously.
Andy Reid, he knows what's going on. He's the best coach in the NFL right now.
To the top 5 pretenders.
The Minnesota Vikings.
The Chicago Bears.
The Miami Dolphins.
Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
And everything in between. This is ESPN Radio's NFL Rank-Up. The bottom 5 worst teams.
On the other side of that, Harry Douglas have those teams that weren't good last year or thought they were good turn out not to be that way. that could make the playoffs in 2025, which means that some of you can be really happy that your team's made his list, and plenty of you are going to be completely upset that your team did not make Harry's list. So let's step aside like Butch in a Pulp Fiction and let Harry do his thing.
Number 5.
At number 5, it's going to be a surprise to a lot of people, but I'm going with the Indianapolis Colts.
Ooh.
If they can figure out this quarterback position, or if Anthony Richardson could come along and really be consistent and be available, and at this point, at this juncture in his career, understand what it means to be a leader in the face of that franchise, or if it's Daniel Jones, and he's the Daniel Jones that made the playoffs and was saved by Saquon Barkley because he has a Jonathan Taylor, and he's not the big apple turnover, but he's Danny Dimes. You look at this roster for the Colts, I think a lot of people are sleeping on this team. Jonathan Taylor's in the backfield. You drafted Tyler Warren from Penn State University, a Swift Army knife, a guy that can do a lot of different things. You have Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce. You have Josh Downs at the wide receiver position, and also A.D. Mitchell, who you drafted. They have some pieces, and defensively, they really, really honed in on their secondary. They went and got a player that I really, really love from a secondary standpoint, Charvarius Ward from the San Francisco 49ers. And they also went and got at the safety position Cam Bynum. This is a team that really could make some noise if the quarterback position is playing up to its standards.
Number 4.
At number 4, I am going with the New England Patriots.
Of course you are.
I really do love the changes that they made, starting number 1 with their head coach. Whenever you have a guy who played in that organization and understands what it means to win and be a part of a dynasty and has touchdowns that he's caught from Tom Brady, but also played ferociously on the defensive side. He's a no-nonsense guy. He's all about that physicality, and he brings in Josh McDaniels as the offensive coordinator. You have the quarterback in Drake May, and I do love the pieces that they have put around him. Stephon Diggs, Kyle Williams from Washington State, Travion Henderson. Those are guys who are going to be able to assist and help out Drake May, but defensively, they said we had a boatload of money, and we're going to spend it. Because what point does it make to have a quarterback if we can't play defense and stop folks? So I love the additions defensively, and I do believe, Freddie, that the New England Patriots are the second best team in the AFC East.
You're mad out of your behind.
You're supposed to hit the number 3.
Before I do, you're mad out of your behind.
Number 3.
Number 3, I'm going with the Cincinnati Bengals. And a lot of this is predicated off the defense, right? And can they be even better than they were a season ago? They were 25th in total defense. If they were 20th, we know Cincinnati would have made the playoffs. Joe Burrow throwing for over 4,900 yards, 43 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. My gosh. But you have to be able to get stops. The year that they went to the Super Bowl and lost to the Rams, they weren't the best defense. They just knew how to get stop and make plays in critical and crucial moments. That's what I loved about that defense when they went to the Super Bowl that season before losing to the Rams. But I have the Cincinnati Bengals at number 3.
Harry Douglas giving you his 5 non-playoff teams from last year that can make the playoffs in 2025 here on Freddie and Harry on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, and Sirius XM Channel 80. At number 5, he has the Indianapolis Colts. At number 4, he has the New England Patriots. And at number 3, he has the Cincinnati Bengals. That means we're up to
number 2.
At number 2, I'm going with the San Francisco 49ers. This is a team when you look at their schedule, number 1, they only have 4 games versus opponents that made the playoffs in 2024. It's not like the infrastructure has gone away from San Francisco. Some players have just departed. Okay. Now, health is a major concern when you look at the 49ers, especially at key positions. And how's that wide receiver group going to be able to be consistent? Brock Purdy just got paid. Is Christian McCaffrey going to remain healthy? Robert Saleh coming back over as a defensive coordinator, but their schedule plays a lot into this. And now we move to the last option.
Number 1.
Or I should say last pick. And how dare Shannon Penn go ahead and pencil in the Chicago Bears when that's not even my damn pick.
I was going to say, when I saw that, I'm thinking,
how dare you, Shannon Penn, disrespect the Atlanta Falcons like that and pencil in the Chicago Bears, and they're trying to get their damn quarterback to be consistent in practice, to be consistent with the cadence, be consistent with anticipating throws.
Being consistent with being consistent.
Overall. I'm going with the Atlanta Falcons as my number 1 team. And I was up here when I was on the San Francisco 49ers, my number 2 team, I said, who didn't put the Bears up there? That's not my last team.
When I looked up and saw that, I'm thinking, oh, really? Okay. All righty then. No Falcons in his top 5. And then all of a sudden, there it was.
And these are my top teams that did not make the playoffs in 2024. But could make the playoffs in 2025. So Atlanta Falcons at number 1. It starts with the quarterback position. And Michael Penix Jr., the guy can make every single throw on the football field. Y'all, I just went to his practice. Well, I should say the Falcons practice.
Yeah.
And I was blown away. And I don't know why I was, because I've seen Michael Penix Jr. up close already, multiple times. But it just reminded me that this guy is the real deal. And I was walking up the sidelines and telling people, I've been out here anyone talk about a wonder if they have their starting quarterback. They have him. But defensively, if they can be better defensively as well, the same thing that I talk about with the Cincinnati Bengals, I talk about the same thing with the Atlanta Falcons. If they can rush the passer, if they can sack the quarterback, if they can get that football back to that offense, who have pieces all across the board, this is the team that not can, but will win the NFC South. Yes, Derek in Virginia, I said it loud and proud.
No love for the Bears, though? Has your mind changed based on what you've seen or heard about
Caleb
Williams and
it has.
having his struggles with the new offensive Ben Johnson?
It has. Hearing Ben Johnson basically say all of these things, yes, we're working on getting the cadence down and the shifts and motions. We're working on his anticipation and throwing with anticipation. We're building from the ground up. I hear all those things, and it took me right off the Chicago Bears making the playoffs in 2025. To go along with a tough schedule, too?
Yeah.
Nah, it's going to take some time.
Yeah, they could be potentially last again in the NFL, what I believe is the NFL's best division, involving the NFC North, the Vikings and the Packers and the Lions, who made the playoffs last year. And at one point, all 4 of those teams are playing above 500 football after the first 6 weeks of the regular season. So those are the 5, according to Harry Douglas, that didn't make the playoffs in 2025, that he believes will make it. So didn't make the playoffs in 2024, that will make it in 2025. Colts at 5, Patriots 4, Bengals 3, 49ers 2, and Falcons at number 1.
I think it's only right to close out this segment with a caller, especially with me choosing the Falcons at number 1.
Okay.
And also because I do owe this person my portion of the bet that we made, and I'm going to pay you up. But why not bring in Derek in Virginia? Tell us why your team will be better in 2025, Mr. Derek.
Well, fellas, hey, it's the Fox. Hurry, I just want to say real quick. Hey, you and Damian Woody with those matching suits had me going in my wallet for a C-note ready to put in the offering plate, bro. Y'all were looking sharp. My goodness. So, let me tell you why the 4-time consecutive, soon-to-be 5-time consecutive NFC South Division champs are better. Number 1, we've got four wide receivers, okay? Studs. We got a 3-headed, everybody talks about 2, we got a 3-headed running back monster. We have bolstered both the offense and defensive line. We have even bettered our secondary. And I'll tell you this that nobody's talking about. Shiloh Sanders is going to see an NFL football field on Sunday before Shedeur Sanders will, because he's been balling out in camp. That is why the Tampa Bay Bucs will be the number 5-time NFC South champion. And don't worry, Harry, I know you're good with your bet. You'll pay it up whenever you pay it up.
Yeah, no doubt about that. By the way, Harry might have to pay it up on September 8th after these two face each other opening day, September 7th, involving the Buccaneers and the Falcons. Bilal on the social says, my Rams will be better in 2025 because Devontae Adams is with my wide receiver core and the running back. So they've weighed in. Harry does believes that the Falcons will be a much better team in 2025 and get to the playoffs. It's time for you right now, Freddie and Harry on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app presented by Progressive Insurance. Tell us why your NFL team is going to be better in 2025 compared to 2024.
Call Freddie and Harry now.
Did you just dial me?
1-888-SAY-ESPN. That's 1-888-729-3776.
Whether you're building
building a single roof or a successful roofing business, roofing contractors like you need the right tools for the job, and software is no exception. Service Titan is on a mission to be the most powerful software platform for the trades, with purpose-built technology proven to maximize revenue, streamline operations, and deliver 5-star customer experiences. We are taking roofing companies like yours to the next level and beyond. Service Titan. We are built for this. See what we can do for roofers at servicetitan.com.
Dive into the Marvel Universe on the official Marvel Podcast with the stars of the MCU.
Everybody's going to be talking about whether we're casting for this character.
The creators of Marvel Comics.
Spider-Man is the greatest fictional character in history.
And Marvel Studios' Kevin Feige.
But if you want the real answer, if we're trying to get real on this podcast,
giving you exclusive access to Marvel's adventures like never before. The official Marvel Podcast. New episodes every Wednesday wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hi, Randy Graham here with Curtis Orchard. Our delicious donuts are back because we are open for the season. Wait till you see our expanded Land of Oz activities with more mazes, a basketball shootout, new games, and a shade pavilion. We're redoing our barn, and now you can watch artist Jose Vasquez create a new Oz mural. Follow Facebook for dates and times. Of course, we still have all your favorites like peaches, apples, produce, fritters, and pies, cider slushies to beat the heat. Go to curtisorchard.com and like us on Facebook to find out more.
Got a plumbing, heating, cooling, electrical, or sewer problem? Look no further than Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electric. Locally owned and trusted, Fred's team of professionals is ready to tackle projects both big and small. Why waste time and money on complicated DIY fixes? Fred's experienced team will get the job done right, saving you time, stress, and cash. And when it comes to sewer problems, make sure you call Fred's for a second opinion you can trust. At Fred's, they do it all. No project too big, no project too small. They do insulation, repairs, replacement, and maintenance. And they now offer service agreements. For reliable service, professional expertise, and solutions that work, call Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electric today. 217-586-3863. Or go to fredscu.com. You can always trust Fred's.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
What is most important to you in your life? This is Eric Boland with Provident Financial Group. Whether you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that help clients like you realize their goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Yeah, we have just hired a new psychiatrist. We have two. We have nurse practitioners and social workers, and so we'll have to hire a couple more to expand this as well, but we're having some success with that, which is good. Then we'll have the full outpatient side of it too. It won't just be hospitalization. Most people will just need to go, therapy, med management, just regular outpatient visits, and so we'll have the full component. We're starting construction for the extra floors now. We'll have the full shift of the Urbana campus by January. And I also want to just point out that a lot of our specialists, cardiology, general surgery, all of the specialty providers will either be in Danville or in Bloomington and St. Joe's. And so we're really kind of doing this as a sort of a full OSF spectrum of care and where it makes the most sense for patients where there's demand, where there's a lot of volume. Huge demands in Danville. That's been an underserved market for a number of years. So we feel like having some of our specialists relocate there will really be great for the community.
JT Barnhart, President and CEO of OSF Healthcare. Diane, what's that website?
OSFhealthcare.org.
And data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. All-Pro defensive end Trey Hendrickson ended his holdout and reported to Bengals training camp today. He did indicate he won't participate until he gets a new contract. Ravens tight end Isaiah Likely will have surgery on a small fracture in his foot. He'll be sidelined about 6 weeks. Chiefs receiver Xavier Worthy placed in concussion protocol. With a little more than 24 hours to go before Major League Baseball's trade deadline, the Diamondbacks continue to field plenty of calls on the top target, third baseman Eugenio Suarez. And there's one big question for Arizona when it comes to Suarez, explains ESPN MLB senior insider Jeff Passan.
Is it going to be a Eugenio Suarez by himself in a deal, or would they package him with a Merrill Kelly or with the Zach Gallen and really give us one of the bigger deals of this deadline?
In what could have been his final game in a Diamondbacks uniform, Suarez went 1 for 4 in the loss to the Tigers today. Blue Jays ended a 4-game slide, defeated the Orioles 9-8. With a 10-3 victory over the Brewers, the Cubs move within 2 games of NL Central leading Milwaukee. The Mets, trying to avoid the sweep out west, trail the Padres 4-0, top of the 5th.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Kennedy. Coming up Thursday, we continue our ESPN Radio Rankum series where I'll give you my top 5 dark horses to win MVP this season. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
This is Freddie and Harry on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
He is Harry Douglas. I'm Freddie Coleman. It's a White Boy Wednesday edition of Freddie and Harry on the Afternoon Cool, presented by Progressive Insurance on Sirius XM Channel 80. Don't forget about us and tune in and tell that smart speaker to play ESPN Radio. Let us know right now on the Freddie Harry call-in line at 888-say-ESPN, 888-729-3776. We're 36 days away from NFL 2025 kicking off between the Philadelphia Eagles and my Dallas Cowboys. We want to hear from you why your NFL team is going to be better in 2025. And do not use "we're going to be a lot healthier than last year" as your reasoning. 888-say-ESPN, 888-729-3776. One of our favorites is Miss Kells in Illinois. Miss Kelly, we know you're a Packers fan. How will they be better, Miss Thing, in 2025?
Hello, my 2 favorite guys. Well, let me just tell you something. We got the Golden Boy. Okay, and we've got some offensive people that we have drafted, and we're going to go in there, we're going to kick some booty butt, and we're going to take names.
Miss Kelly, where have you been?
Hi.
We missed you.
Yeah. Okay, my husband had hernia surgery, and his mom had a bunch of appointments. I've been taking her to appointments. I haven't worked 8 hours a day in probably the last 3 weeks. I know, but I'm listening to you guys, but I can't call because I'm in doctor's or I'm at her house. But listen, I'm listening to y'all.
All right, so
may not be able to call.
Miss Kelly, I got to tell you this because I'm someone who had, hernia surgery twice on both sides. And tell your husband to make sure he stretch before everything, Miss Kelly, okay? He got to get that good stretch in because you don't want to go back under that knife.
No, and he wears that band around it. It's only been 3.5 weeks, and actually tomorrow will be 4 weeks. He wears that band, whatever, and he said that helps immensely. He's got to wear that for 3 months. I don't know if you had to wear one of those, but yeah.
Oh, no, I ain't have to wear no band. When I had my surgery, I was a spring chicken, Miss Kelly. I ain't have to wear no band.
Hey. Hey.
Well, he had belly button hernia, and he had two of them. He had twins. I said, "Oh, you had twins. You having two babies there?"
Well, number one, I'll continue prayers for your husband's recovery and make sure everybody in the family is going to do well. So that's number one. Number two, her Green Bay Packers and Matthew Golden, who has been lighting up camp so far with the Green Bay Packers. If he can be that dude, and Jordan Love can be the guy we saw the final part of the regular season 2023 in that playoff game against the Dallas Cowboys, that could be something in the land of the Cheeseheads in Green Bay.
So, Freddie, the last time I checked, Jordan Love, when it came to the MVP odds, was a plus 2,500.
Okay.
E-Dog, I know I mess with you sometimes about 1-800-GAMBLER, but I think I'm going with you, dog. I'm going to put some money down on Jordan Love because plus 2,500? Oh, man, I'm going to put some paper down on that one.
So it's going to be like a sizable wager, a mid-level wager, a small kind of ducket kind of wager. What is it going to be?
It's going to be shucky, ducky, quack, quack
that means
type of wager.
It's going to be a sizable wager. So I'm glad we got that out of the way. Larry in Indiana, tell us why your NFL team is going to be better in 2025.
Man, look, man, the frustration is real when it comes to my Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that they're going to be a better team because I've been watching the practices on TV and stuff, and I think they're going to surprise a lot of people just because of George Pickens, for one. I think he's going to make a big difference. But also, I think the players are going to – I think they feel like they got something to prove this year in spite of our owner who does more detriment to the football team than what people really want to say. You know, I've been a Cowboy fan since 1978, and I've come to realize last year that Jerry Jones does not care about Super Bowls. He only cares about sucking up all the air on TV. As long as the Cowboys are mentioned on TV, that's all. That's his Super Bowl right there. Because I can tell you right now when he's going to sign Michael Parsons. He's going to sign him at the end of the preseason,
mm-hmm.
right around the last preseason game, and right before the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the history,
mm-hmm.
he did it last year.
Mm-hmm.
He did it with Ezekiel Elliott.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pattern that he does, and all he does. And whenever the Cowboys are not getting talked about, he goes out and says something crazy that makes people talk about him all over again.
So, Larry, what I do love about your call, man, on Wednesdays, every single Wednesday here on Freddie and Harry, we have this segment called Safe Space. And you basically just gave us your safe space a bit earlier.
Yes, no doubt. I only have one problem with what Larry Indiana had to say. Say it louder for those in the back. That's the only problem I have with Larry in Indiana because actual, factual. Mark my words to his point. He'll sign Micah Parsons the week before they play the Eagles, right around that Monday or Tuesday or that Wednesday,
sure will.
to lead in the game when that's happening on that Thursday night to kick off the NFL season. It's a fact, and there's no dispute about that.
Also, Freddie, back to that Jordan Love thing, if I was to place a $2,000 bet on Jordan Love winning MVP,
all right,
at plus 2,500,
mm-hmm.
that would win me $50,000.
Well, if you got the money, ESPN Bet's got the time. I just put it out there. If you got the money, honey, if they got the time, they will take your money and see exactly how that bet is going to land. Calvin in West Virginia, mountain mom man that he is. Calvin, how's your NFL team going to be better in 2025?
Hey, can you hear me?
We got you loud and clear. Can you hear us?
Yeah. I'm on a Bluetooth, so I just was double checking.
Okay.
My team is the Raiders, man. I feel like we're going to be a lot better because first we got Pete Carroll setting the culture for us. Our culture been down in the gutter for the last couple of years. And we got Geno Smith, the gunslinger, coming to the AFC West, trying to battle with Patrick Mahomes and Herbert and the second year Bo Nix. And I think that right there is going to put us over the top as far as offensively. And defensively, we got rid of Wilkins, him and all his little funny ways, kissing teammates on the top of his head, always playing crazy in the locker room. And I think that right there is going to do it for us, getting rid of all the nonsense. And, can't forget our rookie running back, trying to come out here and lead the NFL in rushing. Little ass.
He cut out. I would say this. I do believe the Raiders are going to be a better football team, but it might not show up in wins.
Yeah.
But they're definitely going to get better. They have their quarterback. They definitely have the coach.
No doubt. And the running back, Aston Genty. Yeah.
Aston Genty, yeah. So they're going to be better. It just might not show up in wins this season.
Yeah.
But that's a team, next year or the year after, you better watch out for.
Well, they got a guy, Max Crosby, on the defensive side that he's the leader of their football team. They rally around him. And now, for the first time in a while, he's going to have a proper coach that knows exactly how to have a team well prepared, not just for practice, not just for training camp, but getting ready to play football games. They're going to be better because of everything that Calvin said, and also you had a chance to add to that involving that. James in Virginia, tell us why your NFL team is going to be better in 2025.
What's happening, fellas?
What's going on, my man?
I'm going with the Tennessee Titans will be better this year. Can you guys hear me?
Well, I can hear you. Tell us why they're going to be better.
Okay,
We're waiting.
Hey, because it's July and August, so everybody's team going to be better, for the next year. On a real note, we got somewhat of a line, and if we can give our quarterback a chance that can make a layup as opposed to the quarterback that we had last year that's going to F up, we're going to be better. Defense, solid. Offensive line, my boy Lathan going back to his natural position. So worst case scenario, like you said with the last caller, it may not be with wins, but if Ward can show that he has it and we lose, we can trade our draft pick and get some real pieces.
So I do believe that the Tennessee Titans are going to be better, and it might not always show up in the win category. Same thing that I said about the Las Vegas Raiders. But, Cam Ward, man, I just heard one of the defensive backs talk about Cam Ward. And, Cam Ward is a guy who's very vocal. He is a leader, and he talks a little trash to the defense, and he has that moxie to him. And the defensive player was basically saying, man, I love that. I love that a player coming in as a rookie and the guy has that moxie. He has that confidence in himself that he can get the job done. And I know another guy, Calvin Ridley, is very excited to have Cam Ward as the quarterback versus what they had the last few seasons.
Plenty of times I saw him win one-on-one battles off the line of scrimmage, and he would get open and the ball never, ever got there. Even when nothing against Will Levis. But that's why they went out and got Cameron Ward, the number one pick, because they were tired of having a quarterback trying to have a guy get wide open when Cameron Ward would put that ball in that spot where that guy's going to be thrown open for the Tennessee Titans. One more from one of our favorites, Easy E. Eric in New York. E. Dizzle, we know you're a Giants fan, so tell us, how will they be better in 2025?
Freddie and Harry, how y'all doing today?
We're good, brother. Eric, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Well, first of all, we're going to be more healthy. No.
I love it.
Well done, Eric.
Okay, first of all, can it be any worse?
No.
True. No. Listen, I really feel that the Giants are headed in the right direction. It may not show it in the win column, but if we can develop the defense and eventually get Jackson Dart in there at some point. Don't bring him in early, but at some point, bring him in. Maybe we'll see some improvement. Because of the schedule, the wins may not be there, but you could just tell if you see. We'll see what happens, man. But, hey, I'm going to root for him. I've been a fan for forever. And if I live through the 70s and Joe Pasacek's fumble with Happy Hour with Herm, I'll live through anything. So
True. Yeah. And to that point about the schedule, they open at Washington, at the Dallas Cowboys, who they've not been able to beat since God knows how long. Home versus Kansas City, home versus the Chargers, at the Saints. They should be able to win that one, but you never know. Home versus Philadelphia, at Denver, at Philadelphia, home versus San Francisco. That team you think they can make the playoffs. That's their first 10 games of the regular season with an offense that's consistent.
We're going to pray for them, baby. We're going to pray for the New York Giants.
Well, as a Cowboys fan, I'm not doing that.
Ooh, we're going going to pray for Brother Shannon. As we know, he's going back to his team. He's just faking the funk right now.
He really is.
He's in the transfer portal.
Exactly.
No, he's going back to his New York
Exactly.
Giants.
He's taking a vacation sabbatical from his team.
That's all he's doing.
When the fall rolls around, the foliage and the leaves turn brown, Shannon Penn is going to be back in Giants.
We on a break right now. When the leotard comes off, he's going to be back in his Giants gear.
Oh, wow. I'll believe that when I see it involving Shannon Penn. But what other things do we need to believe and see when it comes to the division known for the Jaguars, the Colts, the Titans, and the Texans? Oh, my. This is Freddie and Harry, Leotard Optional on the ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Thursday. Last year, I said I would take Jordan Love over C.J. Stroud. I'll tell you why I'm still extremely confident in my quarterback. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Hey, Joe Fortenbaugh here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sports book for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with the promo code JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible, overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
Hey, where are you headed?
To Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola.
What do they have there?
What don't they have there? Living room furniture, benches, chests, love seats, sectionals, tables, bedroom sets, hutches, nightstands, end tables, cabinets, mirrors, stools, clocks, lamps, pillows, rugs, desks, media consoles, patio furniture, Tempur-Pedic mattresses, and more.
So, everything.
Yeah, probably could have just said that.
Kelsey Furniture, quality for less.
Urbana's Market at the Square has been cultivating a vibrant scene in CU since 1979. Get to know your farmers bringing locally harvested honey, crafts, jewelry, art, fresh cut flowers, plus produce including fresh leafy greens and root vegetables, fresh baked treats, and a wide selection of proteins. Going on now, every Saturday, 7 a.m. till noon, rain or shine at Illinois and Vine, it's Urbana Market at the Square. Find Urbana Market on Facebook or urbanamarket.org.
Friday nights in August, it's Farmer City Raceway with their full show plus kids mods brought to you by Nutrient. Adults are $15, veterans $10, kids 12 and under are free. Hot laps around the quarter-mile dirt track start at 6:30. Head to 850 Grove Street in Farmer City before the final Friday, August 29th, with $5,000 to win for the Mars late models during the Chuck Wagon Food Service Richardson Memorial Modifieds and Pro Late Model Racing. You'll buy the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
So what about dedicated diesel and the Dixie Chopper?
There are mowers there to be had at the best prices that you'll ever see on an industrial or a residential type mower that carries a bumper-to-bumper warranty on the drivetrain, the whole works, some thousands off. We're gonna move these out, and Andy is the guy to see. 217-328-0562. He'll help you out. If you need service or parts on a Dixie Chopper, he's the guy to talk to.
Yep, and this is the fastest lawnmower ever made, so ready to go.
World's fastest mower, Dixie Chopper.
That's it.
That's right.
Well, my friend, it is always a pleasure to get your tips on the Pitmaster side and, of course, learn about Gelferix Trucking and Dedicated Diesel, which you are in charge of, sir. So, well done.
Give us that contact information.
Email me at timo@gftlog.com or call me at the office at 765-793-7131 and hit 4 when the auto attendant answers.
Good Liberty, our WNBA champion!
We can't get enough of the WNBA. A fresh draft class has arrived.
Dallas Wings select Paige Beckers.
Teams stacked with new talent.
Jules a complete dog.
The Valkyries take flight in the Bay.
Ridiculous!
We've got more stars and more heat than ever. WNBA on ESPN, presented by Google. We can't get enough.
You have cancer. There's nothing you can do to prepare yourself.
Round 1 of chemotherapy. I'm gonna fight it. I'm gonna survive. There's no way I'm gonna let this take over me.
Cancer doesn't care what you look like, who you are.
It may not save my life. It may save my children's lives. It may save someone you love.
You ain't get this cancer about you. Let's do it.
Live. Fight like hell. And when you get too tired to fight, let somebody else fight for you.
Because of all the donations, mine is one of the lives that's been saved.
1, 2, 3. Never give up. Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Visit v.org/donate.
Welcome to the show.
Buckle up. It's about to get loud here.
Where MLB stars flash unimaginable power.
Wow.
Unreal stuff.
How good is this guy?
And endless entertainment.
Unbelievable.
Where young trailblazers rock big speed, big swag, and big personalities.
That's what I'm talking about.
Welcome to MLB's Best. Sunday Night Baseball presented by Capital One. Every Sunday all season at 7 Eastern on ESPN.
Towards left field. This weekend on ESPN Radio.
On its way, out of here, Kyle Schwarber.
Two of baseball's best go head-to-head. The Detroit Tigers storm into Philadelphia to face the Phillies.
Home run to right, Riley Green.
The Tigers at the Phillies. Coverage begins Saturday at 3:30 Eastern and Sunday at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Presented by Progressive Insurance. This is Freddie and Harry on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
He's Harry Douglas and Freddie Coleman. It is White Boy Wednesday music time on the afternoon crew known as Freddie and Harry on Sirius XM Channel 80, as well as tune in and tell the smart speaker that you know to play ESPN Radio. It's time to do Believe and See, involving all the teams in this division. We're doing the dirty style, meaning the dirty South. We go to the AFC South. We are 36 days away from the NFL season starting also. Let's go to that division and to the team that's been the champions the last 3 years.
The Houston Texans.
What do you need to see to believe when it comes to Houston Texans?
That the offensive line is going to be better than they were in 2024. Because C.J. Stroud, who had a fantastic rookie season in his sophomore year, got sacked 52 times. Why is that number significant, Freddie Coleman? It's because he was sacked second most in the NFL, only behind
Dak Prescott?
No.
Who's
Caleb Williams.
Oh, I'm sorry. At a certain point, once they started losing, I just forgot. I found quarterbacks actually were doing something.
So Caleb Williams was sacked 68 times last season, and C.J. Stroud was sacked 52 times last season. So I'm waiting to see if that offensive line is going to be able to gel together. Now, remember that it's not the same offensive line that they had last season.
Sure.
They got new cast of characters, but can they also, within a new offensive scheme?
Sure.
Bobby Slowick is no longer there. Can they find their way and their footing?
I'll believe when I see it that somebody can step up and replace the production of Tank Dell, who's not going to be there in 2025 after the injury he had in 2024. And you really have to keep wide receivers healthy if you are the Houston Texans, which means Nico Collins. You got to find a way to keep him healthy. Christian Kirk, they get him from Jacksonville. You hope that's going to help. Dalton Schultz will have to step up his game. Who is going to step that up? They believe they can do it, a new offense. I'll believe that when I see that from the passing offense of the Houston Texans.
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
They got the Heisman Trophy winner on their team, and they saw Trevor Lawrence trying to find his way. What do you need to see to believe from the boys down in Duval?
You know where I'm going with this one. There's a quarterback by the name of Trevor Lawrence, a.k.a. Sunshine, whatever you want to call him. Whatever you want to call him. He was drafted number 1 overall in 2021. I'll believe it when I see it that Trevor Lawrence is playing at a consistent level. There's no drop-off, and hilly areas in his game.
Right.
He's getting it done. 2 years ago, they started 8-3. They finished 9-8. Missed the playoffs. That was the emergence of C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans. I believe it when I see it, when Trevor Lawrence is that dude for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'll co-sign on that, especially when you got Brian Thomas Jr., Travis Hunter, and De'Ami Brown as your wide receivers. You're really running out of excuses when you got those three guys as playmakers on the outside for the Jacksonville Jaguars offense, and Liam Cohen calling plays, the former offensive coordinator of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
The Tennessee Titans.
Not too much we need to see to believe, but what do we need to see to believe from this team that many people believe will not be that much better than last year?
Well, can they just be better overall as a football team? It was a disaster last season. That's why they had the number 1 overall pick, and they drafted Cam Ward. I believe it when I see it that they can just be a better football team as a whole.
I believe when I see it that Calvin really can be a number 1 wide receiver because Lord knows he'll get the opportunity. They're not worried about Treylon Burks anymore. Got injured in camp. They wound up cutting him barely 2 days after he suffered that broken collarbone trying to make a catch. If Calvin really believes he's as good as he can be and can be a number 1, or he's going to get more than an opportunity to prove that with a rookie quarterback in Cameron Ward, I'll believe that when I see that involving him and that football team.
The Indianapolis Colts.
What do you need to see to believe from the boys in the Hoosier state of Indiana?
Anthony Richardson finally having everything together at the quarterback position, because when I look at the Colts as a football team, they have a lot of pieces, a lot of different areas. And if the quarterback position does not hold up this football team, we could be talking differently about them when it comes to January, and I mean playoff football.
Yeah, I believe when I see it that they said the offensive line's improved. Okay, I know you gave Bernhard Raymond a big-time contract, 4 years, $1 million extension. You still Quentin Nelson, the left guard. You got Braden Smith, the right tackle. They said we're going to be better no matter who's going to play quarterback. Well, I believe when I see it because you got a quality running back in Jonathan Taylor. You drafted Tyler Warren to be the next great tight end in the National Football League. And Michael Pittman Jr., I think, has a chance to break out and be a top-flight wide receiver. Can't do anything. The offensive line's not protecting your quarterback or opening holes in the running game. They say it's better. They've said that in training camp. I'll believe that when I see that from the Indianapolis Colts. We're going to stay on the Dirty South tip here on Freddie and Harry with Harry Douglas and Freddie Coleman. And we're going to go to the NFC South. And Harry Douglas keeps telling us those Falcons, they're going to be pretenders. Do I believe it? If I'm going to see it, despite what he has to say. This is ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Thursday, we'll continue to react to everything happening around the trade deadline, as well as get you ready for the Hall of Fame game. It's on Sports Tonight, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
The Fantasy Focus Football Podcast.
Jordan Mason has spent most of his career being overshadowed, but when given a shot, Mason has risen to the occasion. He was the RB5 in yards per carry last year.
Check it out on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast.
ESPN Fantasy Football is more than just a game. It's thousands of stories in the making. Like that one league that hasn't missed a draft since the 20th century. Or the one that decides their draft order by competing in a legit athletic combine. Or the league where if you come in last, you have to sit in a closet and assemble a 300-piece puzzle. In the dark. Yeah, that stuff really actually happened. The football may be fantasy, but the stories are 100% real. So download the ESPN Fantasy app, sign up, and start your story today. Insights with IBM Watson X.
And ESPN Radio Extra Point with with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and Michelle Smallman.
Why rack up the fines? What are you talking about, $50,000 a day? Why rack up those fines over the last week and a half, knowing that you can't get that money back because the franchise does not have the ability to rescind the fines because you're on a veteran contract? I don't understand for the life of me why guys won't execute the blueprint, which is to show up and hold in. You don't get fined, but then you also don't participate in team activities in training camp. I don't know if they don't feel comfortable doing business that way, having to look those people eye to eye and tell them that you're not doing something. But that is the way of the world for the NFL right now. That is how you have to operate if you are on a veteran contract. You have to show up to training camp. They've effectively eliminated the holdout for guys on a veteran deal, but that doesn't mean that you can't hold in and withhold your services in order to move the team closer to your demands.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.